Hi guys, I'm here to talk to you today about body image. Now, amongst men, body image issues aren't really talked about enough, but they can affect men just as much as they would affect women. Another YouTuber, Sam Pryor, has put together a load of male YouTubers and we are talking about our own issues with body image. So, here we go. One of the issues that I have had in the past with body image has been with my chest. Now, when I was 17, I discovered a lump behind my, right nipple. I had it checked out because I thought it might be something like cancer, for example. It wasn't. What it was a benign lump, and it was basically tissue growth. And it's a condition called gynecomastia, which affects quite a lot of teens, actually. It means that you just get a slight growth of, it's basically breast tissue. And it's usually one-sided, and it was for me, it was on my right side. The way it's usually treated is with tablets to reduce it. It's the same tablets that breast cancer patients take before they then go for surgery. It did for a while, but then it would come back, and then I'd take the tablets again, and it would go down and come back. And I really didn't like the way it looked. I mean, I was actually in a lot better shape then than I am now, otherwise. But I had this lump on the side of my chest, and it was uneven. Like both these sides were uneven, and I hated it. But the thing is, I liked wearing tight t-shirts. Sometimes it held everything in, like it squashed everything up, and it looked normal. But there are other times it didn't. I'd wear a waistcoat if I was on a night out. If it was a hot day, I might take a cardigan or something with me and just sling it over my shoulder or my bag. As you can see from this picture of Summer in the City 2010, I think it was. Now, there was an operation that could be done, but you had to apply for the funding because it wasn't automatically done on the National Health Service. It took a while for this process to happen, so I had the operation in 2013 for the first time. Bear in mind that I'd found this in 2007. I went through the recovery portion, but it didn't quite work as well as it should do, so I had the redo in August of 2014. The next day when they came around and had a look at it, I had to stop myself from crying because it looked so much better, even already. Previously, I hated taking my top off, going swimming. I hated it. Well, I hated walking from the changing rooms to the pool. I didn't mind afterwards because the water was so cold that everything, like your skin just tightened, so everything looked better. I hated looking at myself in the mirror, and it's a lot better now. I mean, it's still not 100 quite equal, but I don't worry about that anymore. Another thing that was more of an issue in the past, and is still a bit of an issue to some extent, is the bald elephant in the room. It's my hairline. I started to recede when I was 17. It didn't start to properly thin until I got to uni, and then it really escalated in 2011, 2012, when I was on my year abroad in Germany. This picture is probably the last picture of me with hair on top of my head that I like, and that's only because of the angle, really. All the other pictures from that evening really highlight how thin it was on top. Since then I've always had it short, but I didn't realise how much I was actually ageing myself by keeping what I did have to, say, a number 2. Even when friends and family pointed it out to me, I just couldn't see it. I'd shaved it really short before, and someone who I was close to at the time, and who is now no longer in my life, coincidentally, told me that I looked like a snake. Like my head and neck looked like a snake coming out of my t-shirt, which I found fantastic. It wasn't until last year when I did a wet shave on my head for the first time that I realised how much of a difference had been made. For the first time in years, I felt like I looked my age. I'd look back on very recent photos of me with hair and think, oh God, that did not suit me well. And yet I just couldn't see it at the time. In terms of coming to terms with the fact that I was balding, it just wasn't something that was easy. I was determined not to let it get me down, but it obviously did. I've friends who've got gorgeous, gorgeous hair, and they can do so many things with it. And there are days where I think, oh God, I wish I had that. But at the same time, I have what I have, and I can either spend my time lamenting the fact that I'm follically challenged, or I can run with it and make the best out of it. Another more present thing that is a problem is my weight. I used to be quite skinny, and I haven't ballooned or anything, but I've certainly put on a fair bit since university. And I've sometimes been late somewhere because I can't find a t-shirt that I like myself in. It's my own doing. I'm a bad cook and I struggle to exercise, although I am slowly getting better at that. And I kind of also inadvertently shot myself in the foot by shrinking a load of my t-shirts in the wash, which didn't help my confidence because I thought I was putting on even more weight than I was. But it's something I'm working on. I have good days and I have bad days, and I'll get there eventually, but in the meantime I have to keep an eye on my mood, which I need to anyway, and need to just try not to let it get the best of me. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say on the matter. Just sharing my experience, really. I don't have much advice in terms of how to deal with it. These problems that we have, that men have with their bodies, it's normal. It's not something which is weird. It's not something which makes you weak. And we need to talk about this. So let's talk about it.